Hey folks, Ryan Gunness here. Today's video, do you know how to make a cake? Okay, so if you're following any type of recipe, it's going to look something like this. It's going to start off with the amount of ingredients you need to have, okay, and it's going to give you instructions on what to do with those ingredients. And if you follow those instructions to a T, you will have a end result that's pretty predictable. Okay, and that's whether you're making a cake or anything. Pretty much. Now I was reminded of this just a few days ago from my daughter's birthday. She got a couple of toys. One was a toy that looked like this, and you got to put together a baby stroller, and it came with instructions. And on those instructions, they tell you first, they kind of tell you all the inventory that's inside of the box, and then it gives you kind of like a step one, step two, all the way through to put the whole thing together. And all the parts are pretty foreign because it's not something that I work with on a daily basis. So it's sometimes if you look at this, you're like, well, what do I do here? And then you got to pay attention and you kind of follow the instructions, and yeah, you work your way through the process, and then you have a result like this. Okay, so building a business is pretty much there's predictable things that has to happen in the instructions, and you got to put all the pieces together so that you can have a predictable result. Okay, the next toy that she got was this little bunk bed thing, and again, when you open up the manual, it shows you the inventory of everything that's inside of the box and how the instructions to follow through. Now, what's interesting is the first page is like a stop and a big warning. So the stop was like, hey, make sure and check to make sure that all the ingredients, all of the pieces that's necessary is inside the box. So if you don't have those pieces, just stop and contact customer service. And then they say carefully read all the instructions first before you start building. And the reason for that, there's some pieces if you put them in the wrong place, it messes up the whole thing. It's not like it's not like it's interchangeable. All right, and then they have another little warning here, that they're small pieces to be careful with kids, etc., etc. If I was to translate this into network marketing and building a business, I would say stop, before you start building a business. It's going to take work. If you're not willing to do any work, you might as well forget about it at this point. It's going to take time. It's going to take an investment of time, money, energy to build a business. If you're not willing to do that, stop. Okay, and I'll probably have some warnings, inside of there to pay attention to. So again, like this, following this instructions, we end up having a result that looked like this. Okay, again, without without the instructions, looking at all the pieces by itself is very, very confusing. And that's what I see a lot of people make the mistake of in network marketing is they're not really following a clear set of instructions. They don't really know what the picture should look like. Okay, and I'll give you a quick example here. You know, on a high level, to build a network marketing business looks something like this. The activity that you do is you have to have a way to reach an endless supply of people. Okay, reaching out to them, attracting them to you. However you're doing it, you got to have a process in place that you're always connecting with new people. Okay, and then you have to invite those people to take a look at your business. Get them in front of a presentation. It could be an online video, it can be a one-on-one meeting, it could be reviewing a flip chart, it could be, you know, uh, showing up to a conference call, a webinar. It can be any one of those type of tools, but you got to get them to consume a presentation. Once they consume that presentation, a percentage of people will have an interest in what you have. That's the qualified leads. Those are the people that you're going to continue to follow up with, answer their question, get them in front of more presentations, Okay, introduce them to uplines, introduce them to the team, introduce them to the support. That's what you're going to be working with those people in the follow-up process. And then a percentage of those people will join your business as a customer or as a distributor. Okay, in the process, product gets moved, you earn a commission, and then you work with those people to teach them the same process of attracting people, connecting with people, inviting them to look at the business, getting them in front of a presentation, following up with the interested people, and continuing this process over and over again. Now, if you have a breakdown in this model where most people do, it'll look like this. Most people just don't know how to, you know, uh, constantly get in front of new people, and sometimes they don't even know what's the right presentation to use, and they don't really have a process for following up with people. And once if you don't have none of these things, the whole thing is is going to be broken. You're going to look very, very frustrated, like this guy or girl over here. Okay, and uh, a lot of times you may see people, you know, in your company, uplines that are running a very smooth business. It looks like they're always bringing in new people. Everything is just looking, just moving smoothly. And in your world, it looks like this, where it's like everything is broken. Okay, now what I want you to understand is that you you have to have a clear picture of what you're working with. Okay, just like if I go back to the instructions here, it was a very clear picture of, hey, here's an inventory of all the things that you need to have. If you don't have it, stop. Okay, and then once you have a clear picture of what you need, your raw material, so to speak, then it's like step one, do this. Step two, do this. Step three, do this. Okay, and once you have that in place, things move a lot more smoother. All right, so very simple again. Large inventory of people, a process to get them in front of a presentation. Obviously, a good presentation is going to be better. Okay, so you got to have a good presentation tool. Okay, and then a process to follow up with people, okay, and help them get started, and then teach them to repeat the process over and over again. That's really it. I mean, outside of that, there's some other things you can learn, but if you never learned nothing else but attracting people, getting them in front of your presentation, following up with the interested, signing them up, and repeating the process, if you never learn anything else, you can build a large network marketing business. Okay, MLM, recruit on demand, we have the lead system in place so you can get unlimited leads, for free. You could pretty much never run out of leads, using some of the free methods that we have to do that. And then we have processes that we teach you to do this whole thing, in a very efficient manner. MLMrod.com, we show you some marketing, how to attract leads. And I'll show you an example. Is one, we have these little things called drop cards. It looks like $100 bill, gets people's attention. You leave a couple wherever you go in life. You hand it to people, and you say, hey, if you know anybody that's looking to make some extra money, have them call the number inside of this message. So when somebody opens it up, there's a little ad, enticing someone to learn how they can make some extra money. Call to listen to a little 3-minute message. This is a phone number, an extension that we give you. And then someone calls, they listen to that message. At the end of the message, we invite them to look at your full presentation. We invite them to look at your full presentation. They'll get a free $50 rewards cash gift card for doing that. And all they do is press 1, and then the system automatically puts them through that process. So again, that's kind of marketing to help get someone in front of your presentation. Then once they go through your presentation, that's when you reach out and you follow up with them and you answer their questions and all that good stuff. And you work with the people that are interested. Okay, and you continue to repeat that process over and over again. Okay, here is a sign that can go on the back of your car that does the same thing. Again, enticing someone to call to listen to a little message. Okay, and people go through that process. So this is what it looks like from a marketing standpoint, but it's still in line with the process of getting eyeballs on your presentation. So you gotta have a way to attract people or reach out to them. Okay, using the marketing tools approach We attract them to listen to the little 3-minute message. They press one. We send them a text message. We're bribing them to take a look at your business. They'll receive a free gift for doing that. And then they go through the process. They watch your presentation. You follow up with them. Or you get an upline to help you if you need help with that. You sign people up, you get them started, and you repeat the process over and over again. That's really the recipe for building a network marketing business. Can we add other things to this? Yes. But if nothing else was added, if you did this, you'll have a predictable business. All right, so you can check out the MLMrod.com to learn more about those tools, and I invite you to go ahead and you know even if you have to write it down, I invite you to go ahead and say, I'm going to take an inventory. How am I going to attract unlimited people? Where am I going to find my people source? Okay, and have a process in place that's predictable. You should never be scratching your head like, where am I going to find people today? You should have a very predictable process, and you should know very, very clearly what am I going to invite them to look at. Okay, and when they look at it, how am I going to follow up with them? What questions am I going to ask them? What other tools I'm going to use? What's that process going to look like? And then when people want to get started, what am I going to do to get them started properly? Okay, and how am I going to get them trained? Okay, so if you have those processes very, very clearly mapped out, then you'll know exactly what to do, because you'll be able to say, hey, here's all the people, here's the inventory of people I'm working with, this is the lead source I'm working with, this is what I'm inviting them to, this is how I'm following up with them, and then I'm going to get them started. In the process, I'm going to make money, and I'm going to keep repeating the process over and over again. All right, so I hope that helps you. Go out there and at least take inventory of where you're at in this clear map. And if you don't have a clear map, I invite you to get that ironed out today. And if you do have a clear map, then say, what can I do to speed up this? How can I do more of this? And go ahead and take action. And I'll see you at the top. Ryan Gunness signing out.